back to the Fasterproms YouTube channel. We are back with the little Miata that could. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make some more power. Today, we got ported heads on her, and we're going to see what she does. Or he does. It's a poncho. Alright, so what do you get with ported cylinder heads? And to answer that, let's think about kind of making more power at a higher RPM range. So what do you get with a ported cylinder head? Well, we're alleviating some restrictions, and we want to make power. So we want to be able to make it at a higher and higher RPM. Now, not only are we going to do that, we milled these cylinder heads, so we're raising the compression. So we should be somewhere in excess of 12-to-1 compression. And we can run that on pump gas, so don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Even though we run poncho on a lot of E85, that is no problem whatsoever. So 93 octane, 12-to-1, we got this. When we alleviate the restriction, as that piston's coming down, it's demanding more and more air at higher and higher RPMs, and it becomes more difficult to fill that cylinder. Well, if we got a better flowing cylinder head at a higher RPM, we will be able to make more power. All right, so what we did with the cylinder heads is we milled them about 30 thousandths, and by doing that, we're raising the compression. Interesting thing about compression is that it makes a more violent explosion every single time that piston goes up and down. And that gains power and efficiency from idle all the way to redline. And when we're porting the cylinder head, what happens is as the airflow is coming in, it gets divided up amongst the cylinders, and then it gets down to a smaller and smaller orifice. And in doing so, the air speeds up a whole lot. So as that air is coming down, the airflow matters more and more the closer you get to the back of the valve. And that is on every single engine. All right, so when we had built the Miata, at the time we didn't port the cylinder heads, and I kind of just wanted to see what we could make without it, see how efficient the system was, and we did very good. Obviously making over 500 horsepower, but I had that one thing. It was kind of like the ace in the hole. I just wanted to see what I could pick up with it. But you know what? We're going to find out today.
Snap! This is our first fire up here. Poncho is very windy. That's an angry little car right there. You can literally hear the compression. It sounds so much nastier than what it sounded like before. Listen to the popping and cackling out the exhaust. Oh yeah. I'm so stoked to get this on the dyno. I can't wait to go drive it.
All right, that is the start. All right, so what we got is that pull was 517, and what we I started off with a little bit less timing, anticipating a little bit with a higher compression ratio, so just wanted to start a little bit conservative. Air fuel is slightly different, and from last time, this thing really wanted to run rich, and we'll see what it does here right now. I'm going to throw some more fuel at it and take away fuel in different areas, and we'll try and add timing back. So the other thing is, now that we've kind of unconstipated that exhaust as that charge is going out, even though we have a higher compression ratio, maybe we can send more timing to it. Find out. All right, so she's definitely making some more power upstairs. All right, that was 522. I added about a ½ degree to a degree more timing, and surprisingly, with the higher compression, but we have a better flowing exhaust. It still does seem to like to run rich. So I'm running about just as rich, but we're able to throw a little bit more spark advance at it, and it is making some more power upstairs. So I am excited about that. That's going to be really cool. I wanted to address something else too. So I know we've had some problems with our tack lead pickup, and people have had different comments about that. Sometimes you'll see the torque curve and it'll drop out, and basically we've just had a couple problems with a pickup. But if you were to actually have those problems with the tack lead pickup, you would see the car surge and lose power. But that's not what Poncho's doing. Poncho's just pulling hard all the way through here. So it's definitely a clean pull. You would see misfires and all that, but it really doesn't have any misfires whatsoever. So we're definitely on the way here. I'm going to throw a little bit more spark advance at him and see if he'll take it. All right, so let's check this out. So we got that's picking up power from all the way from the bottom to the top. We got like 30. That's about 30 wheel horsepower gain there. So that's looking really, really, really good. Look at that. We picked up like 10 pound-feet of torque at the bottom. That's kind of what we were talking about with that compression. That's exactly what we're after right there. So 20 pound-feet of torque in the middle and all the way at the top, kind of at the highest RPM right there. So that's like 30 wheel gain there. And we did get more usable extendable RPM range. You know what that calls for? More cowbell. Hell yeah, we got 30 horsepower and some ported heads. That's freaking awesome. All right, man, I'm glad that I'm through all that. There was a number of pulls there where it was just making very marginal little gains, and I was kind of struggling with the timing curve and trying to find out what kind of air fuel. I mean, we tried to run it a little bit leaner and it lost power. Once we put the fuel back to where it was, it really liked it. So everything worked out really good. I'm surprised that it did take a little bit more spark advance, but we do have gains from the bottom all the way to the top. I mean, we started with about 510, and it was like 473 pound-feet of torque, and we ended with almost 490 pound-feet of torque and 537 horsepower. So that is a very nice gain all the way through, and there's some areas that it even picks up 30 underneath the curve. I mean, 30 horsepower is going to be awesome on the street. Don't forget to check out the link below for our new t-shirts, and here are some videos of our dogs.